Hey, well, good evening, internets. It's me, DP Knudten, with another edition of Bookward Bound, my 301-day consecutive live stream journey toward the creation of a brand new book. Now, things are going to be a little bit different tonight because I'm actually doing a podcast interview with someone I really enjoy talking to from Perth, Australia, Western Australia, down in the city that I believe is the most distant city of over 1 million people on the planet, Perth, Australia. So very cool. Paul Ramondo is going to be joining me, hopefully very shortly. It is 7 p.m. here, but it's 8 p.m. or 8 a.m., I believe, the next day. So today is Wednesday, so it's Thursday, 8 a.m. in Perth, Australia, and that's where Paul Ramondo is going to be joining me from. So he should be hopping on the feed here any second now, and that's very cool. So as soon as he does, I'm going to definitely click over to Zoom and make sure that's working okay, because I'll be recording the entire episode and posting it later. Well, it'll be going out via YouTube Live, Facebook Live, and Twitch right now in real time. But I'm also going to record the entire thing and probably post it on the Nonfiction Brand website sometime tomorrow-ish, maybe, if I get around to it. I'm trying to see if things are working out here. Yeah, that's looking good. When you've got so many things rolling, I know my fans are going to be going crazy on my MacBook Pro, but that's okay because I'm using a cardioid patterned dynamic microphone that hopefully will not pick up much of the sound of the fans, and also keep the dull roar that's happening upstairs from impeding upon the situation here. All right, so that's rocking and rolling on Facebook too. I see it's going to restream.io. It looks like it's working. And anyway, so while I'm waiting for Paul to show up, I should just say that tonight is episode 201 of 301. Oh my gosh, you know what that means? 201. That means that we have 100 episodes left to go in this thing. So I have, crunch time. I have 100 days to finish up this book, which is actually in pretty good shape. And one of the reasons I'm having Paul Ramondo on the podcast again is because I actually want to get some updated information on how he's doing, what he's doing, and how he's really building his personal brand via his own styles of social media activity and stuff like that. And that's why I want him to get on the line. Hello, Paul. There's always the chance that we could have a mistaken stuff. Why is he calling me? I'm going to decline the call because I don't want him to incur. Where's my phone anyway? It's probably upstairs. Maybe what he needs. Let's do this. Grab the Zoom copy invitation. Let's see if he's emailed me. It doesn't look like it. So I'm going to send him a new one. wonder, since my phone's upstairs, it might be best for me to go get that phone. Or for sure open up messages. Oh, here you go. Hey, dude, it's Paul. I'm in the Zoom room. Is he in a different Zoom room? Am just sent you details for Zoom. Oh, there he goes. There we go. All right. As usual, because we're dealing with international dateline issues and stuff like that, it's always interesting to see what happens, especially with technology. But here he is, or at least that's his still image of Paul Ramondo on... there he goes. Can you hear me, man? Hold on. I need to adjust my Zoom settings, I believe, because I was on a different call earlier today and I messed with things. Okay, so now I should be able to hear you beautifully, Paul. Yep, you sound good. All right, so I was just talking to my live stream, and believe me, no one's... Well, there might be somebody watching. Hi, somebody watching. But just getting started and dealing with some technology issues and time zone issues and everything else. But as I was telling everybody listening or watching, this is the lovely and talented Paul Ramondo from Perth, Australia. And oh, thank you, man. I'm so delighted to have you back on the podcast, because I always love finding out what the wild man of Western Australia is doing. Because let me tell you, every time I follow you, and I'm not a lurker or a stalker or anything like that, but yeah. Well, there you go, exactly. But every once in a while, I'll see something that you're doing, and I'm always entertained, if not just plain delighted, by everything you've got going on, because it's always so interesting. Hold on, I need to get... Yeah, no problem. Because actually, I'll be honest with you, I think I've told you more than once that I go to school on what you do, and I'll never do what you do so beautifully as well as you do. Yeah, but, well, seriously, man. Okay, one of the reasons that this is going out as a live stream is, influenced by you. Because as anyone who's listened to the 2 previous episodes with Paul, I think I don't know, those might have been episodes 60 and 61 or something like that. We're now on episode 10. Well, by the time this airs, it's going to be episode probably 115 or 120. Yeah, it's been going great, and not in a little bit due to people like you who just share so freely with what you do so well. But if you listen back to those first episodes, you're going to hear a discussion about how Paul has really taken a concept that has been, I guess coined would be the best phrase for it, by Gary Vaynerchuk, about document, don't create. And that's a whole philosophy, and we'll probably touch on that a little bit in this conversation because I think it's so important. But I got a bigger question for you. How does a dude... Yeah, well, I will. How does a dude in Perth, Australia, the most distant major metropolitan area on the face of the planet, get a primetime speaking keynote or presentation at Social Media Marketing World in San Diego, California? Because I didn't know this when I came out to this past March. I didn't know this past March, but I'm looking at the list of speakers, and what do I see? I see Paul Ramondo on there, and I'm going, wait a minute. How does the guy from Perth get on a stage in San Diego, USA? How did that happen? Well, and I want to give listeners a little bit of clue into what he's talking about being in the studio singing his guts out. He's actually got a power punk pop band down in Australia called One True North. Well, I've actually listened to your stuff. It's available on iTunes and Apple Music and all that stuff. So if you want to hear, yeah, well, there you go. If you want to hear what Blink 182 can do to the mind of an Australian, just check out One True North with Paul Ramondo. But anyway, I don't want to go too far down that rabbit hole, but it's worth mentioning because it captures one of the things that I think is fundamental to you. And what I really loved is the fact that when you were talking about how you got on the stage in San Diego, you talked about two things that I think are incredibly important. One, you accept that you are a brand and you need to communicate that brand via the most effective means possible. And we can talk about some of those things. But you also set yourself out what I would consider to be a pretty big, hairy, audacious goal. And that is that this boy from the streets of Perth, Australia, are going to be on a stage in San Diego, California, USA, which had to be kind of a dream, knowing where you come from in terms of power punk pop and the Cali scene that certainly spawned that genre. You can go. I can always say that this episode's explicit, so you do what you have to do. Yes, yeah, and just let your freak flag fly because the full bore Ramondo is what I want. Yeah. Yeah.